Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Suno Tonight with Saadia Afzaal. We are back with yet another episode of our series Islam and the Modern World. The world is changing faster than we believe. Technology has not only changed our lives but also made this world smaller. The use of social media has brought massive changes in behaviors. It impacted the behaviors of individuals and the roles of the governments around the world. Social media platforms, on one hand, provide an opportunity to the oppressed, whereas on the other hand, it could be used to generate massive propaganda campaigns that lead to the rise of violence and hatred among the societies. Considering the positive and negative impact of social media tools, first example that we can consider relates to the cause of Palestine. Social media platforms highlighted the atrocities of Zionist regime, and the world witnessed the happenings live on their mobile screens. Genocide of Palestinian population has been going on for the last 100 years, but this is the first time that the modern world has witnessed the true face of Netanyahu and his war cabinet. In their acts, there is no humanity, no mercy for innocent Palestinians, and over 40,000 people have been massacred, including 70% innocent children and women. But this time, the youth is aware of the Zionist regime's war crimes. Whether it's American youth or in any other part of Europe, all raised their voice in favor of Palestine. Unfortunately, Muslim nations and their scholars are silent. But this time around, it's Western independent scholars who are raising their voice on the hidden and larger agenda of Netanyahu. It's nothing else but genocide and ethnic cleansing of Muslim population. But this time, Israel wants it at a different level, at an industrial scale, a scale never seen before. American professor John Joseph Mearsheimer, in an interview on YouTube, explained the hidden agenda of Zionist regime and pointed out that the bigger the war is, there is an opportunity for ethnic cleansing, not just in Gaza, but in the West Bank as well. Its ultimate objective is to cleanse the Palestinians out of those two pieces of real estate. Another American analyst, Scott Ritter, in an interview, briefed that Israeli forces are saying that under the Jewish law, raping a non-Jewish prisoner is not a crime. This isn't a bad Hollywood movie, and this is right now happening in Israel. Raping prisoners is no longer a crime in Israel. Israel has become literally the worst incarnation of what we could imagine Nazi Germany was like back in the day. I mean it, and some people say that even the Nazis were not this bad. Of course, the powerful Zionist lobby in the US could not ignore Scott Ritter's interviews. Hence, the Federal Bureau of Investigation raided his home with search warrants on a lame excuse to look for technical devices. The only purpose was to harass the former Marine and stop him from raising his voice against Israel. Moreover, other social media platforms, including X, are providing an opportunity to all the independent thinkers to express their views, which are not allowed on traditional media networks. Similarly, if we consider the negative side of social media platforms, it could be used to create something out of nothing. Recently, we saw what happened in the United Kingdom. Social media tools were used to stir up hatred after the stabbing of 3 teenage girls, which ended up in riots. A 17-year-old suspect, Excel Rudakubana, was arrested. A British-born teenager who is neither a Muslim nor a migrant, but false information on social media about the suspect's origin spread like wildfire, with some falsely naming him as a Muslim and a migrant. He was even named as Ali al-Shakati without any authentic source. The far-right agitators continued to decry immigrants and Muslims, and the very next day, protests led by far-right groups escalated into clashes in multiple towns, and rioters started to target mosques and businesses owned by the minority community, and hotels housing asylum seekers. Now the question is, who prompted the far-right agitators? Well-known far-right figures such as Tommy Robinson, whose real name is Stephen Yaxley Lemon, and the influencer Andrew Tate have been posting on social platforms and spread hatred online. These riots forced the policymakers in London to think what has actually happened. And it was then revealed that these are the think tanks, the paid persuaders and intellectual spear carriers who build these social movements. It's a process known as astroturfing. Astroturfing is when you lead the world to believe that whatever is happening is grassroots and organic. But it is actually a reflection of the agency of the powerful. We look, for instance, at an organization known as Middle East Forum, founded by Daniel Pipes. Now the director of this think tank is Greg Roman, former employee of Israeli Foreign Ministry and the Israeli Defense Ministry. And the same Middle East Forum funded this guy, Tommy Robinson. Another question, what is the purpose of these riots in UK? UK was considering to ban the arms sales to Israel, and all of a sudden these riots took place. These riots were planned by a very clever mind. First, it builds pressure on the UK government, and secondly, its target was the minorities and Muslims living in the country. Now, coming back to our primary question, why we were not able to use these tools in a progressive manner. We remained the victim of social abuse. Why we could not groom ourselves or our youth, and where did we actually fail?